them and more with just one theory. Get ready for the darkest SpongeBob conspiracy you'll ever see. This is the evolution theory. We're back with another SpongeBob conspiracy. Guess I'm the SpongeBob guy now. That's all I make. You guys sure love these SpongeBob theories.
Alex bail out with another video. The makers of SpongeBob interfere, put in their own message.
Oh my wait, what the fuck?
To brainwash you people. Squilliam sends the doctor in. He's not really a doctor. He's just trying to infiltrate that little round thing on his head there. Oh my god, thank God for Alex Bale. Look at that. He's helping me prove my point. You know what? That is awesome.
Maybe some of you love them a little too much. You know, I got other videos, right? I make films about theory. Bikini Bottom is actually beneath a real-life place called Bikini Atoll. From 1946 to 1958, the United States did nuclear tests there, devastating the area and leaving it radioactive even to this day. The theory states that the reason why the citizens of Bikini Bottom can talk and form advanced societies is because of mutations caused by these nuclear tests. And that's about the whole theory.
Wait, is this motherfucker trying to prove SpongeBob is real?
Even though there's tons and tons of videos about it, none of them actually go in depth with it or really look through the show.
Well, I always wondered. I just thought. I just kind of assumed that they could talk. Actually, it makes actually no sense. I assumed that they were all fish that could understand each other, but they're not all fish. It's fucking Sponge.
For evidence, but y'all know that if Alex Bale is making a theory on it, then it's not going to be some baby surface level analysis. I will watch every single episode of SpongeBob. I will read every page of the goddamn Wikipedia. If I'm making a theory on it, then you guys know.
Should I try to disprove this guy?
Oh, it's gonna be good. And once I really started looking into this theory, I realized that there is so much more here than anyone thinks. Get ready, because today we're going to be solving the biggest mysteries in the history of SpongeBob SquarePants and changing the way you look at the entire show. So without further ado, let's begin.
I think anybody can ruin SpongeBob for me.
In order to find out whether the Bikini Atoll theory is true, we first have to determine whether fish talking and being so intelligent is unique to Bikini Bottom, or if that's just the way the SpongeBob universe works. You know, it could just be that all animals in this world are able to talk, and that's completely normal because at the end of the day, SpongeBob is still just a cartoon. Well, if we take a look at Season 10, Episode 10, Feral Friends, we get a bit of a hint about how the SpongeBob world works.
Yo, this motherfucker, I swear to God, this motherfucker was the original Mogger.
In this episode, a green moon appears and transforms all the characters into less cartoony, real-life versions of themselves.
Yo,
Just like in real life, they can't talk and end up trying to eat each other. The French narrator is watching all this unfold, and he says this very important line.
I have been monitoring the behavior.
Oh my God, wait, what the fuck?
Of the green
This is the French narrator?
moon.
I never knew this. I never knew this. This is news to me.
Neptune's moon. Every 100
What the fuck does it have a beanie?
years, it de-evolves everyone in Bikini Bottom into
Fuck?
primal fish.
Yo, why the fuck does this motherfucker have a beanie?
Evolves everyone in Bikini Bottom into primal fish. So this implies that the characters in Bikini Bottom are more evolved and were once like these primal fish. But this doesn't prove that the evolution only exists in Bikini Bottom. It could still be a worldwide phenomenon. Remember that bonus DVD clip I found in my television theory? It was about humans studying fish in Bikini Bottom because of their intelligence.
Land-loving scientists have tried to learn the secrets of intelligence. Their studies led them to the sea, where the citizens of one undersea colony demonstrated a genius so enormous, the scientists felt compelled to record their actions for use in teaching mankind how to live better.
This makes it sound an awful lot like the fish in Bikini Bottom actually are uniquely evolved, and it's not.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me.
Not some worldwide phase. Then, in the SpongeBob
So you're telling me SpongeBob is fake? No way. I never would have guessed.
20-year anniversary special, SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout, we get a major piece of evidence for this theory. SpongeBob and Patrick take a tour of the surface world and eventually go to a fish store and see some very
Wait, what the fuck?
realistic, less evolved fish.
Wait, what? I ain't never seen this before.
What kind of monsters would want to keep fish folk in jail like this? They're so
Oh my God, that
beautiful.
is so fake.
They can't talk back to SpongeBob and Patrick, and they're actually able to swim freely through the water instead of being affected by gravity. They are clearly showing us that both evolved and primitive fish exist in this universe at the same time. Now, sometimes we've seen Bikini Bottom characters represented as realistic fish like this, but only when they're out of water, never while they're still in water like these fish. We even see this again in the beginning of the third SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. The movie opens with a coral reef full of these realistic primal fish, but eventually we get to Bikini Bottom where the more evolved fish live. So there you go, direct proof.
I'm not gonna lie, would y'all ever wanna like, I'm not gonna lie, if I went scuba diving one day, and I see Bikini Bottom, and I see a town of fish, wait, how tall are they? How tall is SpongeBob? How tall is SpongeBob? He's 4 inches. Oh my god, dude, he's like fucking tiny too. And this person's, if he's like 4 inches, then this person's probably like, what, like fucking 5?
The citizens of Bikini Bottom are uniquely evolved. This is a very deliberate world-building choice for the creators to make. So I guess that kind of confirms the Bikini Atoll theory. Theory confirmed! We did it! Woo! Well, let's hold on for a second. As much as I'd love to keep this theory complete, there's actually one major
Yo, he keeps flashing back to that fucking creepy SpongeBob image, bro. Bro, nobody wants to see that shit.
Me some resistance. Something I've never seen anyone else bring up when talking about this theory. Prehistoric Bikini Bottom. We've seen episodes like UGG or SB129 that show Bikini Bottom millions of years in the past, but we still see evolved versions of SpongeBob and Patrick. Sure, they may not be super intelligent or advanced, but they're still clearly way more evolved than the primitive, realistic versions we see in Feral Friends or in the fish store. So, how are we seeing these evolutions millions of years before the Bikini Atoll tests? Well, unfortunately, I think the only conclusion is that the Bikini Atoll theory just isn't true.
Wait,
I mean,
what?
clearly something has caused Bikini Bottom citizens to be uniquely evolved.
I've always wondered this. How the fuck do they drink water in that? Or how do they swim? Or how do they do any of that? It actually makes my mind like tweak out sometimes, bro. Because it don't make no sense. It actually makes no sense, bro. Like, it makes no sense. Don't go fuck. That shit don't make no sense. But
there's no denying that. But whatever caused it took place millions of years ago and couldn't have been the Bikini Atoll nuclear tests. Then what really caused the evolution? In the entire show, the only thing we've seen that directly affects the evolution of characters is the Green Moon and Feral Friends. Except the French narrator specifically calls it Neptune's moon.
It is called Neptune's moon.
Named after the ruler of the seven seas, King Neptune. King Neptune is a character who's been around since the beginning of the sea. He's a character who the Bikini Bottom citizens view as their god. And he's a character who has the ability to change fish into other forms.
Oh, I'm not kidding. What the fuck? Oh, hell no. He's chopped as a... Oh my god, him as a human is chopped as shit. What the fuck? Oh, hell no. Mr. Krabs... Yo, Mr. Krabs is... Oh my god, he's insane in this.
What the...
Yo.
King Neptune used his magic to turn the fish of the sea into more evolved subjects for him to rule over. He's the one who's been behind it all this time. Now,
no way.
I could spend this entire video talking about King Neptune and his weird continuity and contradictions in the show, but I'll save that for another theory. What I'd much rather talk about are the implications of having evolved and primitive fish coexisting in the sea. Now, we know that this evolution isn't specific to just Bikini Bottom. We've seen different cities and places far across the ocean that still have talking fish, which makes sense because the marine life in Bikini Bottom has evolved to resemble humans, so it's no surprise that just like humans, they've expanded beyond Bikini Bottom and colonized other areas of the sea. But now, I have an interesting question for you. What is the relationship between evolved fish and primitive unevolved fish?
I think I would guess, if I would take a jab at it, if I would take a stab at it, if you will, I would say that it's probably some shit with like, I don't know, I can't think this hard. It's
well,
way too late, bro.
Probably just peacefully coexist in the sea without bothering each other. You know, just like real life humans and animals.
Just a cat.
Wait a second.
The war? The fuck? They had war in this?
Season 3, Episode 10, the Krusty Krab training video.
I knew they had like the war with like the first movie, I think, right? With SpongeBob and like the fucking chicken formula, right? Am I thinking of something else? I could be thinking of something else. Okay, I actually don't know. I could be thinking of something else. Let me know.
Video, there is this hilarious, absurd moment when they're talking about Mr. Krabs.
After the war, crabs stayed secluded in a deep depression that seemed endless.
Like, what war happened in Bikini Bottom? They just tell us this and then completely drop it. But
Some
with
World
this
War
new
II
context, is it possible that crabs fought in a
It's
war against these
OW.
primitive, wild fish of the sea? I mean, let's remember
Ocean
in Feral
War
Friends,
II
some
shit.
of those de-evolved fish were massive compared to the evolved fish, and they
Yo.
immediately started attacking each other.
Yo.
battle for the survival of the fittest
What, Squidward?
rages on in the animal kingdom.
So yeah, in order for the Bikini Bottom citizens to survive and expand, they would probably break into some kind of war. And from the sounds of it, this war must have been pretty brutal to put Mr. Krabs into such a deep depression. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Is there actually any evidence that proves the war Mr. Krabs fought in was specifically this evolutionary war? Well, through the few flashbacks we get, we know that Mr. Krabs served in the Navy. And yes, they
He
were
did?
sailing ships on an ocean even though they're already underwater. This is actually a real-life phenomenon where certain parts of the sea can have a higher level of salinity, and it looks like an underwater ocean. Shout out Miss Parks, my high school marine biology teacher.
Got
We
it.
also know
That
from
okay.
maps
That
in
explains a
Bikini Bottom
lot.
that the town is
That
surrounded.
explains a lot. Actually, thank you. That explains a lot, bro. I actually never knew that. Wow. Thank you. W comms, man. Hey. W gain knowledge.
Surrounded by this underwater ocean. So that places Mr.
That'd be fucking
Krabs'
game
War
knowledge, bro.
outside of Bikini
Holy
Bottom,
shit,
where this
that'd be game
evolutionary
knowledge.
war would have to take place. Then if we take a look at Mr. Krabs' home, we see it is full of memorabilia from his past days in the Navy. But hidden within here is something that will absolutely blow your mind and
Okay.
answer one of the biggest questions in the show. Hanging there on his wall is a picture of a massive whale next to a ship. You don't think that could be... No, it can't be.
It's Pearl's mom.
Pearl's mother?
Oh, ma. So you swear to God.
Pearl is Mr. Krabs' whale daughter. The
Say
show
you
never
swear to
really
God.
explains how a
Oh,
crab can be the father
my
of a whale, but
fucking-
most people just assume she was adopted. People have been speculating about who Pearl's biological mother is for years, and I think we finally just found our answer. We see 2 photos of this whale on a ship in Season 3, Episode 9.
Yep.
Just one episode before we find out Mr. Krabs fought in a war. Since this is among all of Mr. Krabs' Navy stuff, I think we can assume that this is
What else you got in here? Got 2 ships. So 3 ships. 4. Damn, some of I love ships.
something he
Holy shit.
encountered, and not just some random
God
picture
damn.
of a whale in
Hell,
a ship above the
nigga
ocean.
loves
The
ships,
whale
man.
is massive compared to the ship.
It's massive. So yeah, you say massive?
We've seen adult whales in Bikini Bottom before, but they are nothing compared to the size of this whale. This has a much closer resemblance
No,
to
yeah,
Pearl
stupid.
when she de-evolved in Feral Friends and became
It's dumb.
massive. So this has to be an
Stupid
unevolved
joke.
primitive whale, and the picture clearly shows them fighting. Not only does this prove that there was a war between evolved and primitive fish, but Mr. Krabs definitely fought in it. But this also
Wait, what the fuck would Mr. Krabs do?
implies something
I'm
very
seeing it.
dark. Mr. Krabs killed Pearl's mother.
Oh my fucking. Wait. Hold on, huh? Why?
The only
Because
direct
she attacked the boat. Oh my god. Holy
reference
shit,
we
we're
get in
getting.
the show to
Yo, we're
Pearl's
getting
mother
into it,
is
bro.
one of Mr.
Oh my
Krabs'
god, we're
many
getting into it.
sayings, Mother of Pearl.
Mother of Pearl! Mother of Pearl!
Oh my god. It's,
Mother of Pearl!
He
it's all making sense.
uses it in places something like holy crap or dear God, only saying it when something truly shocking or terrible happens. Because he
Oh my
knows
god, it's
the
making
terrible
sense.
thing that happened to Pearl's mother. Why did
Oh
Mr.
my
Krabs
god.
go into such a deep depression after the war? Because he's haunted by what he's done. And the smoking harpoon to
Holy
prove it is
shit.
right there on his wall. So,
Oh my
that brings us with an important question. Why did he adopt Pearl? After he killed her
Wait, what?
mother, he probably realized she had an infant daughter who had the evolutionary genes. Instead of leaving her to die, he adopted her as his own. All
Wait, what? How do you tell if some shit has a? They didn't have no doctors now. The fuck? Wait, what the fuck? They ain't have no doctors, so how the fuck would you know they have genetic genes? The fuck? How does that make sense? Wouldn't it just be like a straight out Spawn thing?
while keeping the dark secret that
Like don't you like Spawn with legs or some shit? How can you tell like by genes? Like the fuck? I feel like there's some shit you got off Spawn.
he was
No?
responsible for her mother's death. Woo! Childhood ruined yet? Well, don't worry. There's
should
still
be.
time for this theory to get even worse.
Yo, I'm not kidding. If this motherfucker goes on to tell me that SpongeBob went from this to this in a matter of years and he was never always like built like this, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Now's your chance to remove yourself before things get really dark.
Oh, buddy, I'm in for the ride, kid. I went too far gone.
Still here?
I
Okay.
guess you could say we're too far deep in the ocean.
So here's a fun question. What's the deal with all the pets in Bikini Bottom? How come most fish are basically humans, but a snail or a worm acts like a pet? Well, just like humans have domesticated wild animals, it should be no surprise that evolved fish have domesticated primitive fish as pets. Unlike the massive primitive fish that the Bikini Bottom citizens had to go to war with, there's also smaller primitive fish like jellyfish, snails, spirit worms, seahorses, and clams that the Bikini Bottom citizens were able to form a symbiotic relationship with. Aw, and I thought you said this was gonna be the dark part, Alex. They're living peacefully together.
Wrong.
That's nice.
Wrong. SpongeBob and all of them went to go war with the small fish and they killed them all.
Okay, you got me. Here's another fun question. Where do the citizens of Bikini Bottom get their food? I mean, sure, some of it is plant-based, but there sure does seem to be an awful lot of meat-based food under the sea. I think you know where I'm going with this. The Bikini Bottom citizens eat primitive fish. Haha, it's not cannibalism if they're less evolved than you, right? There's no moral dilemma there. In Season 3, Episode 13, we see direct proof of this when the characters go fishing for primitive clams. This is something completely normal in this world. And then there's the chum bucket, which sells chum. Chum is literally just ground up fish. The show isn't even hiding this. Now, we don't really see too much of the meat harvesting side of Bikini Bottom, and I'm not surprised they're keeping it on the DL, you know, with the whole cannibalism thing, but there is one secret to making food that is kept more secret than anything in Bikini Bottom.
Formula.
The best kept secret in the entire show.
The secret
you already know what I'm gonna say.
Oh my god, the formula's Pearl's mother. Holy shit. I'm connecting the dots. Oh my god, I just connected the dots.
There's been lots of contradictory evidence about the Krabby Patty secret formula. In Season 4, Episode 7, Mr. Krabs says it's a family recipe.
Because the world's so big, it can make so many burgers. Oh my god.
Mother knows the Krabby Patty formula.
God.
Of course she
Holy
does.
shit.
It's an old Krabs family recipe.
But in Season 5, Episode 1, apparently Mr. Krabs discovered it on his own by accidentally mixing random ingredients together.
My.
I've done it. I discovered the perfect patty batter.
Sometimes it's a secret formula, sometimes it's a book, sometimes it's a secret sauce, and any glimpse we get at the formula is just random nonsense. There is a ton of contradictory evidence out there, but I think this
I would love, and I mean a lot, I'm gonna fuck what's made out of, I'm gonna fuck. Yo, I would devour a Krabby Patty, you shit me, oh my god.
Might all be intentional. In order to throw people off, Mr. Krabs has spread misinformation about the Krabby Patty formula. In fact, he's already done this in Season 3, Episode 18 by hiding a fake formula for Plankton to find that says he's the secret ingredient.
Mixed together with the most important ingredient of all, 4 heaping...
Wait, why isn't Plankton a pet? I just realized that. He's tiny. Why isn't he a pet? I just realized that. Why the fuck isn't Plankton a pet?
Pounds of freshly ground plankton.
The contradictions are just inside the show. Even one of the SpongeBob crew members once said that Krabby Patties are vegetarian and contain no meat.
Wait,
but I've always been a little suspicious about what the creators said. They've also said that they're not allowed to show fish as food, except they clearly do with chum, clam fishing, and all the many, many gags where fish turn into food. It's almost like they're not allowed by Nickelodeon to publicly acknowledge this because that could create a controversy, but they could still sneak this dark secret into the show. So, what is the true secret ingredient? Where does the meat
Pearl's
really
mother.
come from?
It's Pearl's mother.
We never really see Mr. Krabs get the meat delivered, or at least go
Pearl's mom. I'm telling you, bro.
It's almost like he has all the meat he needs.
I swear to God, I did not watch this shit. I'm not kidding.
Piled somewhere. What primitive meat can Mr. Krabs have access to? Maybe he's been holding on to something from the war.
Mother.
What could Mr. Krabs
It's
have
Pearl's
killed during the
mother.
war that he
Oh
doesn't want
my god, I just knifed it. I just peeped it. I just peeped it. I just peeped it.
I just peeped it.
I just peeped it. I just peeped it. I just peeped it. I just peeped it. I just peeped it.
What could that be? You really gonna make me say it?
Pearls.
Mr. Krabs is using Pearl's dead mother's carcass to make Krabby Patties. Woo! We did it! Yeah, we solved the mystery! We did it! I'm so glad! Season 1, Episode 15, Sleepy Time. Mr. Krabs has a dream that he's on a boat fishing for a massive dollar. This is his memory of killing Pearl's mother, except now all he sees her as is money. And take a guess what name he calls the dollar.
What you doing, Mr. Krabs?
Hey! Picking Neptune's bucket!
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about cold, hard flipping cash. It's the mighty Moby Dollar!
Moby Dollar. a direct reference to Moby Dick, a story about hunting a whale.
Or
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, this is getting deep, bro. This is actually
that
getting deep.
is the evolution theory. I warned you guys this would be a dark one. The Bikini Atoll theory.
Oh,
King
we still
Neptune,
got a
Pearl's
couple
Mother,
minutes now.
Krabby Patty formula. We hit everything in this theory. Even if you don't agree with all of it, you gotta admit a lot of this makes sense. Eugene Krabs' aspirations for money and
I will
greed
say.
have caused
And I will say he proved me something. I learned something new.
them to do terrible.
And I'm still gonna watch SpongeBob differently after this. So thanks, man.
Terrible things.
Tip at me if you're gonna watch SpongeBob differently after this.
At least his love for Pearl seems to be real, so maybe there's some small amount of good in him. And even though Pearl's mother probably provides tons of meat, eventually he's gonna run out and he'll have to face what he's done. Well, unless of course there's another whale he has access to. Nope. Nope. No.
Oh,
no.
Yo, hole.
Mr. Krabs wouldn't do that. He loves Pearl. He's not just raising her for Krabby Patty meat. Even Mr. Krabs isn't that much of a monster.
From every side I've ever seen to the sweetest sound I've heard, I'd gladly give up everything for all the money that I've earned.
Yo.
Huh. Well, alrighty then.
That's a great video. I'm liking
this.
this.
Here
I'm
before there's
something
any
to
more
this guy.
dark plot twists. You guys have been insanely supportive with these SpongeBob theories.
This guy did his thing.